Hola amigos de Play Jugger. Today we are here with
Steffen from Zonenkinder
and
Simba from Leipzig.
Okay, so we have very special guest today, as you can see, and we are going to talk about the differences of Jugger in Germany and Spain. So, the first question, how long have you been playing Jugger?
Now I play Jugger for 12 years.
And you?
Yeah, and started playing in 2013. So it's like 9 years now.
Okay. So, as you are veteran players, what are the bigger differences since you start playing Jugger from now?
I can start. Like, I think mainly the pompfen are way lighter. So yeah, that's the main part. So like all of the people can play regardless of their strength or their height. Like small people, big people, all they can play. So it's more inclusive. I think that's very great. And in the result, the game is way faster now. When I watch some videos from when I started, like everything is so slow. Not only the pompfen actually, but also the way people train, the way people think about the game. I think it's more professional, more fast. Yes, so I think that's the main change.
Yes, and the game also has become less violent, like physically. So I remember 10 years ago, every training you had some head hurt or you get really, really intense impacts of pompfen, and now it's more the sportive aspect.
Would you say now is better?
Yes, way better.
A lot, yes.
In which parts of Germany is Jugger played more often?
I think it's played in like all of the country. I think a bit more teams maybe in the south, but I think it's changing a bit as well. I think Berlin is the city with the most teams and players, but we have more cities with teams close by. So if you talk about several cities near each other, maybe there are more teams. There's not like it's not a small nucleus like maybe here, where one city has like 10 teams or something. Yeah, so it's all over the country, I think.
But if you're living in a big city or next to a big city, it's very probable that there's a team or structures of Jugger.
How many players might be in Germany, approx?
Yeah, the last biggest tournament in Germany was the World Championship last year, 2021. There were 75 roundabout teams. And after like 2 years of pandemic, we become active again, and people are really, really motivated. And this year, 2022, all the tournaments were overbooked. So everybody is very keen to play again.
And a number approximately?
We can calculate 75 teams at the World Championship. Let's say 10 of them were international. I don't remember, let's just say it. So 65 times 10 per team. So we're talking about 600 players.
That's a lot of players. Here in Spain, we are worried about becoming a real esport. In Germany, is that so? Are you concerned about becoming a more serious professional sport?
There are a lot of people, like top players, who are really pushing forward and are interested to become like more serious sport, more recognized sport. And they put a real effort, like professionalization, standardization, and also about the media communication. So we don't want to be put so much into like the medieval gladiator niche, but we want to be like a real sport like others.
I think Spain has the FECH as a nationwide association, and we don't have that in Germany yet, but that's something that's in work right now. Like there's a working group starting to prepare how that could work, how we could implement it in Germany. So we're working since I think more than 1 year. So yeah, I think that's the next big step we need and want to take to get more professional.
Because how do you work now in Germany?
We work like once a year. We have a rule voting, and every team that has played like 3 tournaments in the last season can vote in that. When people put the work in it, it works and it happens. But nothing. There's no association or no rules saying how that works. It's more like everyone agreed we want to do it that way, but nothing else. So yeah.
Oh, I started with the questions of the people. I just realized now. Okay, what are the relevant teams? Because or they are competitive or because they are important to the community?
I think there are too many to name right now because like competitive wise, it got fairly close in the last years. So I think we have like a top 10 where obviously, like you have rigor mortis, which is winning a lot of tournaments, but they come to really fight for the tournament wins. Not like 5 or 10 years ago. I think it was maybe a little bit less competitive. So yeah, it's really close right now. So I think it's too many names to name them, and the teams which maybe are not playing on the top 10, but are organizing a lot of stuff, are also like a lot of players from different teams. So I think it's difficult to name like only a few.
A little change was in the last years, like 5 to 6 years. Mixed teams occurred. Like before, we all only had local teams in Germany, which all trained together and got to the competition together. But now we also have several mixed teams, which put a very high level of Jugger. And in the I would say top 6 or top 7 Jugger, it's always surprising who is like winning against who. So it's not set from the beginning, but it's always very open. So the tournaments, like the bigger ones, are very, very intense and very, very open for surprising results. Yeah.
Okay, what are the main differences about the German and the Spanish rulebook?
I think we have to be cautious here because we don't know the Spanish rules too well. So
The Spanish neither.
I think the main difference is the fault system in Spain, where if you do mistakes and the referee has to interfere, you get faults, minor or major. We don't have that in Germany. And in Germany, we have the repetitions when something went wrong during a point. The referee say, yeah, someone did something wrong and they won the point. We cancel the point and just repeat from the start. I think both have advantages, and of course I know the repetition game more than the other one, so maybe I'm a little bit favored, but not too much, and I'm curious about the fault system.
Do you have a lot of faults in Germany in a match?
It's difficult to say because we don't count them. I think every match has repetitions. I think you can say that, and the very close ones maybe have a bit more, but I'd say when the match has more than 4 or 5 repetitions, it's very, very much. I think 2 to 3 is common, and more is uncommon and very rare.
And the experienced referees also can give the repetition with an advantage or disadvantage of having the jug in the beginning. If the round before it was kind of clear, or the team with the disadvantage or the advantage made the fall, they can give influence a little bit to make it more fair. Yeah.
Okay, level of competition in comparison with Spain. How is it?
I don't really know the level of competition in Spain, so it's hard for me to judge. Of course, I know tercios and I know veracos, which are now nomadas, but I cannot really see how well they are playing. So it's hard for me to judge.
And in the past, we had some situation, of course, where mixed teams of Spanish people come to Germany or a mixed team of German people come to Spain. But it's always not easy to compare because it's just like a mixed team and they have the special burden of traveling and being new to the country, and everything is a little bit different. And it's also like a language barrier sometimes. I think everyone is trying their best, in their best knowledge and in their best will. But of course, it's difficult, and it also has led to, frustrating situations in the past where Spanish teams or German teams were not happy with situations because they didn't understand so much what happened and why it happened and why they are punished and why they have the disadvantages. And of course, everybody wants to win in the end.
In general, now, what do you think about the Spanish Jugger in all its meaning?
Vale. We visited Spain now for 3-4 times, and it was always a very, very nice time. And people took their time to welcome us, to let us welcome us at their home, eat with us, spend time with us in the evenings, and have training together. They shifted their training, and so we could participate. So really, really have a good time. It's always nice to see the people in a good mood, in a good spirit, and playing the sport we love so much. Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes, I agree very much, and it's always so nice, playing against a different style of Jugger. I think Spanish Jugger is a bit more fast, more forward, and I really like it playing against another style and experience that and compare it to our own, and maybe to take it with me to teach, or maybe not to teach the other players, but to know better what to do against that.
I met Alvaro, best greetings, and I find him very nice, and I very much enjoy spending time with him.
Now we go to the questions that the people in Instagram and Twitter ask. How do I start a Jugger group in an island?
I would say you should get some pompfe and motivate people to participate, because it's always better to have more people to organize and to make it happen. And if you have a training with 10 people, 12 people, people get motivated and stay on it and they contribute, and then you have your Jugger.
What do you use dual source for in Germany?
To equip 2 shield players.
Okay. Would you like a global role set?
This would be awesome. I mean, it's super complicated to make it happen, and you have to coordinate everyone, and then some people have some other needs than other. It would be a lot of work, but it would be very nice for international tournaments and for teams coming together worldwide.
How many years you think it will take to get the global role set? 5? 10? 100? Never?
I think 10. 5 to 10 at least. Yeah.
I cannot guess, sorry.
But you can guess.
This is, yeah, maybe 5, maybe 10, but people really have to stay on it.
We'll see. Do your bets in the comments. Okay, which is the hardest to use weapon?
I think it's very hard to master the shield, like to use in the beginning, I don't know, maybe Q-tip and chain because of coordination. But really to master, I think shield is very hard. And I have a huge respect of Spanish shield players. They do so well. They do so well against chains. And yes, personally, I also very much like the chain because it has so much possibilities and open styles. Like everybody can invent their own style and just make it totally new, this pompfe.
Yeah, I think for beginners, I noticed that shield is the most difficult. Yeah, because like it is shorter than the others, and like longsword is easy to use to just stab people. The chain is longer, so it's easier for beginners. I think in the end, like for players really playing, I would agree that shield is maybe like not the hardest, but the highest ceiling. Yeah.
Does it happen in Germany when a new person comes, it sees the dual swords and thinks, oh, that's cool, I will master this. Then sees that it has no range and says, I go to the other pompfe.
Surprisingly, a lot of new people want to try the double pompfe, but we always recommend them not to.
Our solution is we just don't offer it. We only have shield and 1 pompfe. We just don't have dual swords, so people don't get the idea to use it.
Oh my god. ¿Qué? How long do you intend to play Jugger?
Simba?
I don't know, like I could really see myself being inside of the Jugger community for a really, really long time. Playing competitively, I don't know, 10 years. I think I want to stay in it, of course, for trainings, like for training the people and doing organizing stuff, because I really like that. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, for several years now, I think about like maybe at some point I cannot play anymore because of physical injuries. But right now I'm quite kind of lucky. And in the Zonenkinder, I want to play as long as they want to have me. And in general, I also want to play as long as I find a team with a good spirit and they are like friendly and respectful for the other team, for the opponents, for the referees, for the community. And as long as this happens and there's a really, really, really great time in the tournaments, I will stay on it like as long as I can.
Me too.